College football fans, welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report for the College Football Report. Eric and Ryan Robinson's Week 9 college football previews and predictions. I have Ryan with me, Eric not able to make it, but I put Eric and Ryan up against the rest of the Central Indiana Sports Report contributors and some local media to see if they could make better picks than they could, and so far it's gone pretty darn well. Ryan, last week, Michelle Garman of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call leader scored 32. So did Cade Hampton of the Muncie Star-Press, and so did I, and so did Eric Robinson. And then Ryan Robinson scored 31 along with Kevin Helfrich of the Action Sports Network and White River Communications. Jeremy Giggy scored 30. So through Week 9, Ryan, it's Grant Schaus of the IU Report with 272 points and Ryan Robinson 266. So still pretty close. And then a pretty good big gap, Ryan, to me at 254. Will Rutherford of the Strictly Biased podcast with 249, and then Eric with 246. He's had a rough couple of weeks, but it's still only 26 points between you and him for the lead. It's not like it's a big margin.
He got banged up the last couple of weeks, but then had a good showing last Saturday. But these picks are getting harder and harder as the season goes on and conference play heats up and the matchups. Man, if you're wrong, you're really going to lose spots in the rankings with this point system you got going on.
Let me remind everybody of the point system. Every game is worth 10 points. The more a team is a favorite, the fewer points they are worth. So, for example, Notre Dame at Boston College this week, Notre Dame is going to be worth 1. That would be your example. Boston College is going to be worth 9 because that should be a no contest. And Ryan, the local games this week are really bad. The rest of the games that we have lined up for you are really good.
Some really good games, and one game in particular that looked really good in August and not so much today.
Supposed to be the game of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be epic at the shoe in Ohio State, but Penn State's just their season ended a couple weeks ago, unfortunately for them.
4 losses in a row, man. Never thought that was coming. I did think they were going to have a stumble this year. You guys kept saying they didn't lose much, and I kept saying they lost 2 kind of all-time greats in Tyler Warren and Abdul Carter. I thought it was going to be a little tougher. And then once they lost a game, it just spiraled.
Yeah, it went in the ditch at a rapid rate, and then Drew Aller getting hurt, James Franklin getting fired. So it's if you're a Penn State fan, it's probably going to be hard to watch Saturday. This is going to be a potentially really ugly loss.
It's like I keep saying, at least Penn State's really talented. Any given week they could do, I think they could beat a good team because they're so talented.
We've seen games like this on the schedule, and you look at it on paper a couple days ahead of time, and you think there's no way it could happen, and it ends up happening. But I don't think something
this year.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen this Saturday with Ohio State, but we'll see.
We'll get to that one. Let's start with our 3 local games. Ball State does not play this week. They actually play next Wednesday. Kind of weird MAC schedule as always. Our 3 local games are all stinkers, Ryan. It is number 2, Indiana, 8-0. Can't believe I'm saying that. At 4-3, Maryland, I have the IU worth 2 points. The Terrapins for the upset is worth 8. No way you're taking Maryland, though, right?
Oh, I'm taking IU. I think this game could potentially be closer than what the spread portrays, but IU, they're just, if you're not sold on them yet, you haven't watched enough football. They are the real deal. You could argue they're the best team in the country. Sure. I'm fine with how the rankings are right now, but them at number 2, that's respectful. And I went and had a chance to see him play last weekend met up with Shane Gibson, Jeff Hester, and saw them play UCLA. And it's just neat to see that environment, what's happened since the last time I'd been down there. It's a party. And then you get down into the village around Nick's and Yogi's and those places, and it's just a big party in the streets. So, and it's not basketball season, it's football season.
That's right. That's right.
So
I know the business basketball season too, though, and it looks like they might be pretty good at basketball too.
Well, the verdict's still out on that. I'm
Oh, of
not
course.
I'm not optimistic with the basketball team, but I'm loving what the football team's doing.
That game, I don't know if I said Ryan, 3:30 on CBS. Also at 3:30 on ESPN, it's 5-2 Notre Dame on a 5-game winning streak at 1-7 Boston College, a team we certainly didn't expect to be this bad. I have Notre Dame worth 1. I have Boston College worth 9 times the points if you're willing to take them, Ryan.
It's a 9-time shocker, and I'm still gonna pass.
That's right.
Listen, here's what Notre
Take
Dame
that
has to
1
do.
point.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 1 point, and here's
Show
what
up.
Notre Dame's gonna do. They're gonna hand the ball off to Jeremiah Love 10 times. It'll be 35 to nothing at halftime. They can rest the starters for the second half. Minchie's gonna get a lot of reps, and it's gonna be like a 3-week bye for Notre Dame. So that's never a bad thing when you're getting this late into the season. But Boston College has been really bad. They're getting beat big time each week, and this game Saturday, it could be like IU UCLA, like a 35-3 type halftime score. I think it'll get out of hand early.
You said you think Indiana's the best team in the country. I would say that it's Ohio State is
Yeah. Well, I
probably in
said
a
you could.
league of their own right now. But I
Yeah,
think a
I
half
said you could
level
argue.
behind them, I would definitely put Indiana and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think that IU's the best team in the country. I'm fine with them sitting there at 2.
Right.
That's respectable. Ohio State's they're a great team, and I hope they meet up in the Big Ten title game. I want to see those 2 go at it.
Well, that's almost certain. I can't imagine that won't happen. Even if Indiana lost at Penn State, it would still be Ohio State and Indiana in the championship, most
Right.
likely.
Yep. So they're
And
on
then
a crash
another one
course.
sure seems that way. I'm not sure how Indiana would fare, but it would be fun to see. And another one, this should be a blowout, 7 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. It's 2-6 Purdue on a 6-game losing streak against 6-2 Michigan. Purdue worth 9, Michigan worth 1. Does that tempt you?
That still doesn't tempt me, even though I'd never like picking Michigan. Purdue's just they're down. Hopefully they're on the mend with this Coach Odom, but they're
Yeah.
outmatched. And another Saturday where they're just outmatched. So give me the Wolverines.
And now for the non-local games, the best 7 games in the country that I could find. I shouldn't say best 7 games. The most interesting 7 games with the best 7 storylines and plus America. And we start with the 4 games at noon. And the game that you were talking about, Penn State 3-4, the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes 7-0, Penn State worth 8, Ohio State worth 2.
We already mentioned this game. It's going to get ugly early, so I'm taking Ohio State in this one without question.
I'm taking Ohio State as well, but there are very few teams on the Buckeyes schedule that can match up with them and almost talent for talent. So it might take them a little while to get rid of them, but I'll be surprised if it's any kind of game. I don't know. Probably.
I think this will be a real stinker, especially if you're a Penn State fan.
The only thing that gives me pause is there are very few teams on Ohio State's schedule that can match them kind of talent for talent, recruiting star for recruiting star. So, like I said, maybe not halftime, maybe the third quarter. Maybe it takes them a little while to get rid of them. But Ohio State's the best team in the country. I think they're on their own level at this point.
They've only played one ranked team, and that was the first game of the year, and it was Texas in a close game. And we've seen Texas move throughout the season here, and they haven't been as impressive as we thought they would be. But that's kind of shocking this late in Big Ten that Ohio State's only got one ranked win.
Yeah, but the defense is going to be good against anybody. I'm not sure about the offense yet. I'm not convinced by saying yet, but I think the defense is elite. And on ABC, speaking of the Longhorns, they are 6-2 and they host 7-1 Vanderbilt. And a lot of people are going to be taking Vanderbilt at Texas, which is insane. I have the Commodores worth 6 points. I have Texas worth 4 at home. Ryan, are you taking Vanderbilt again?
I am taking Vanderbilt again. And I'm riding the Diego Pavia train until he proves me wrong. I just think going into this game, there's so many uncertainties with that Texas offense, and I know Arch Manning hadn't been electrifying by any means, but he's still in concussion protocol. He hasn't been cleared to play as of yet, so it could be the backup, which maybe they realize they have a better option at quarterback by playing the backup. I don't know, but Vanderbilt just is a team that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and you look at some of the inconsistencies with the Texas offense. I just think Vanderbilt can go in there and get another big win, huge win, push them towards the SEC playoff, conference championship. And if they win this game, it's going to be their highest ranking since 1937. So you think they're happy in Bloomington? You should go to Nashville.
How about an IU Vanderbilt national championship game?
I said it in our seats Saturday. The complete stranger next to me, and we both were dying laughing. But we're like, hey, it's not out of the realm of possibilities here.
I agree with you. I'm taking Vanderbilt. I think they're legit. I think their win at Texas legit. I think their quarterback's good. I don't think he's alone by any means. I think that entire team's good. That is a special team and a very good coaching staff. I won't be surprised at all to see Vanderbilt in the SEC championship despite their tough schedule down the stretch.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. Hopefully we find ourselves correct next week when we talk.
Yeah, let's hope.
I need the 6 points.
We both do. And on ESPN in a big ACC game, this year's leader 6-1 Miami worth 4 points. Last year's ACC champion SMU worth 6 points. The Mustangs are 5-3 on the year. Ryan, who takes the advantage here in the ACC?
I think Miami does. I just think on both sides of the ball, they're the better team. I know it's a road game at SMU. SMU's got 3 losses already. They're not the same team they were last year. I think we both know that. And I think Miami's very, very good. And Carson Beck's probably going to have a breakout game. He's due. He's just too good not to have a huge game. And that's why I'm going with Miami in this one.
You're right. The SMU team is not what it was last year, but they're definitely good enough to beat good teams at home. Still give me Miami in a close one. And on CBS, Ryan, we love college football, but we love even more America. America. That's right. We have 3-4 Army at 2-5 Air Force in the first of 3 Commander-in-Chief games. Ryan, who are you taking, Army or Air Force?
Well, to anyone who's wanting to watch this game, you better get there in front of your TV at kickoff because this could be over in an hour and a half.
That's right.
Neither team can throw the ball. Both teams rely heavily on the run, just under 300 yards each team rushing coming into this game. So this is going to be a whole lot of rushing and a whole lot of clock running. And I'm going to take the home team, Air Force, in this one, in a close one.
Yeah, give me Army in a close, low-scoring game. By the way, Navy is going to win the Commander-in-Chief Cup, and it's not even going to be close.
They're the dominant football service academy this year.
Yeah, go Navy. Ryan, I don't know if people know this, but Navy is one of the few teams left unbeaten in the country. They're 5-0 in the American Conference, and I think the midshipmen might give Notre Dame maybe their biggest test the rest of the year, maybe.
They usually keep it somewhat close for half the game, but their lack of passing is what ends up costing them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Notre Dame gets it figured out by halftime, and then it's usually over with by then. So I'm kind of predicting more of the same. There's just too many years of that happening for me not to think Notre Dame can't figure out the triple option within 30 minutes of football.
Yeah. And I think Notre Dame, no way they're losing another game. I'm just saying it.
Let's hope not.
2 big ones at 7:30. We go to the SEC where it's 6-2 Oklahoma at 6-2 Tennessee. I have the Sooners were 6 points on the road at Tennessee. Ryan, who are you taking?
Well, this game here, man, it's a big stage. It's prime time, 7:30 on ABC. Tennessee is so good at home. They're going to have what, 110,000 people dressed in orange for this. I think Oklahoma coming off that tough loss to Texas. Mateer did not look good in that game. I'm going to give the advantage to Tennessee, just the home field advantage, the crowd, and I don't think Tennessee can afford a third loss in the conference. I think they're going to be ready to play, move to 7-2 overall.
Hey, Ryan, Mateer didn't play well last week because he's not any good. I can't believe he ever appeared once on a Heisman Trophy list. Give me Tennessee going away in this one.
Not a fan of Mateer.
Yeah.
I missed the game last week, but Eric, because I was at IU, but Eric texted me. He's like, "This kid is awful." Yeah, he's had some good games early on, though.
Please forgive us. We lost a little audio here. It picks up right here.
I'm not going to go against Georgia Tech, not until they do something really bad in a game, and so far they have not. They've been tested throughout the season. They're 8-0, 5-0 in the ACC. That conference is theirs for the taking. I just don't see them losing at NC State. I know the line's like 6.5, so it's kind of tight for the road favorite, but Georgia Tech's got a really good football team, and we talked about that leading up into the season, just how they finished last year. They've built momentum off that, and really, really good quarterback play, so I'm taking the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I think my microphone was muted for part of this. So sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's a big matchup, but you look at Utah with 2 conference losses, and they're favored by 10.5 at home. And if you saw what they did to Colorado, was it last weekend or the weekend before? Yeah, Colorado had like negative 18 yards of offense at halftime. And that game just got totally out of control. Utah looks dominant on offense. The defense is playing better. Cincinnati's a good team. They're at 5-0 in the Big 12, but that's a tough ask to go out to Utah and get a road win at night like that. So I'm taking Utah and the Utes in this one. It is, and BYU just has shocked everyone, losing the quarterback the way they have, and this guy stepped up, and he's been just as effective as Rez left that left mid-August. So, yeah, kudos to BYU and that coaching staff. They're rolling.
Once again, so sorry about the technical difficulties toward the end. Just to make it clear, Ryan and I both picked Georgia Tech on the road at North Carolina State to remain unbeaten, and Utah to beat Cincinnati in the Big 12. We both also, of course, picked Illinois State to get another big win against Northern Iowa as Winkers Wright and the Redbirds make their push toward another playoff berth. And thanks so much to Ryan for joining me. Sorry Eric couldn't be there. He will be back next week. And thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, please do us a huge favor and share it with a college football fan in your life and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.